Hello, friends. Sanjay here with KMF Business Advisors. So, if you're trying to sell your business on your own, I made a video on what you should avoid. Couple of things you should and you must avoid in order to jeopardize your business and, in order to avoid future obstacles towards your business. Uh, One thing I will tell you is never, if you have, no matter how good of a buyer it is, never, until you don't get the NDA disclosure signed, until you don't get an escrow deposit with a letter from your attorney or the buyer's attorney, until you don't have a copy of those two things signed and proved, do not, I'm saying this, do not and never let the buyer, never introduce the buyer to the landlord. A lot of things can happen if you don't have those two things in your hand. If you let a buyer speak with the landlord without securing your business, then, my friends, you could land in major, major issues. It just happened to one of our customers. Well, now is a customer, but what happened was it was listed as a for sale by owner. Got a very interested buyer, did everything, but did not sign the non-disclosure agreement, did not provide the escrow. The buyer got really upset. Wow, why do I need this? If you want to sell business, I have money. If you don't want to sell your business, that's okay. I go next door. All right. Well, guess what? The seller was kind of desperate to sell, so he introduced the buyer with the landlord. And what happened was the buyer made a deal with the landlord directly. The seller had 2.5 year lease, and the buyer made an offer to the landlord. Say, listen, now having a lease has certain, security towards you. What's going on in today's industry in the business world is that, especially, I don't know if you're in South Florida, but in South Florida, it's crazy. The market is just, it's ridiculous. I mean, what rent you used to pay 2 years ago has gone up, has skyrocketed to three, four, 600%. So in this case, what a lot of landlords, they do not want to approve a new lease agreement, a new lease assignment. So if you have a buyer for your business and the buyer wants to, take over your lease assignment, a lot of landlords are not approving it because they know for a fact they can get a lot more for their space when your lease is up. The key money is coming back. Nowadays, landlords are asking for key money, like a turnkey money. Yeah, give it the store. Give me some money. Yeah, this is what's happening here in South Florida. So what happened in this case was the buyer went to the landlord, thanks to the seller, didn't sign a non-disclosure agreement, didn't get an escrow deposit because he was too desperate. The buyer went to the landlord, made a connection, and then the seller receives a letter from the landlord stating that uh, due to so and so, we will not be renewing your lease. Now, what does that mean? That means the seller dug a hole for no reason. So look, it is very, very important that you look. I'll share a lot of tips with you guys on this channel. Follow me on YouTube. I'm going to share a lot of good stuff with you so that it helps you. I understand not everybody can pay commissions. That's completely acceptable, but there are some situations that you can avoid. And I want you to avoid at all costs so that you are securing yourself. So be very careful. If somebody does not want to sign a non-disclosure agreement, put your hands up. Say, fine, I'm not gonna give you any more information. I need that. Get their name, get a copy of their driver license. Now, the driver license, a lot of them are gonna get upset. Why do I have to disclose it? It's an optional. But we as business brokers, we take a copy of that. Now, if somebody says no, we can't force them, but we try, because we don't want litigation in the future. So try to protect yourself as much as you can before you release any information, and especially giving information of the landlord, connecting the buyer to the landlord. If you ever want, you can tell the buyer, say, listen, I can put the landlord on a three-way call. Do not give the number of the landlord. I can put the landlord on a three-way call. Ask whatever questions you want. If the buyer insists on meeting the landlord, then you got to be there present. You got to be there present. Make sure they don't exchange, but it's going to happen. So the best way of handling this is a three-way call where you're not, where you're not giving the number of the landlord and getting it done there. All right. So I hope this helps, and uh, protect yourself. If you need any help, give me a call. I'm not an attorney, but whatever I can help you with, I'll definitely help you with. Number is 954-864-9161. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you find this beneficial, and share it with your friends and family. Thank you so much, and have a good day. Bye bye.